Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki. I am a fourth-year homeschooling mom to 5 little boys. Today's video is a follow-up to that lovely mid-school year update. And today I'm going to share all of the things that I think might get us back on track. So grab some coffee or some tea and let's chat. So if you are finding this video and you have not watched my mid-year homeschool update, go ahead and go watch that. It'll give you a little insight into what I'm talking about today. And as a recap, this year has been not great. That is the nicest way to put it. We have had a very, very challenging homeschool year. And so I have racked my brain. I have sought out all of the veteran homeschool moms with a resounding answer. They have all said, just hit pause and just kind of do a reset. So that is what we are doing. The first thing that I needed to do was reevaluate our curriculum and see if things were not jiving well. And I did that, and our core curriculum, as a reminder, is Horizons Math, the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts, all about reading. That is our core. My kids are still very young, and so the core basics of just reading, writing, math, like that is really the bulk of our homeschool right now. And I kind of took an inventory to see, like, is it the curriculum or is it us? It's us. Because, when it comes to like doing the work, they're being challenged, but not overly challenged, if that makes sense. Like, they're not struggling with the curriculum per se. They just don't want to do it. We've had the same curriculum for a while, so it's not new. And I think what has been different in years past is like all of the extra things that we have done in our days that we're not even getting to. Like, we're not even getting to do any of those things. And so, part of that is on me, which I will discuss in a minute. But as far as the curriculum goes, I really don't think that there's a root problem with the curriculum that we're using. I don't think that they are necessarily struggling with the curriculum itself. So after taking inventory of our curriculum and really just asking their opinion, they said, yeah, we like it. We just don't want to do it. And, part of this is just kids being kids. And I feel like they're definitely getting to an age where they just don't want to do it because it's not as easy anymore. And I think that that's normal. It is normal for them to kind of push back some because it's harder for them and it's a little bit more work. But ultimately, I really don't ask a lot of them. For example, in Horizons Math, Horizons is definitely a more advanced math curriculum, but they don't necessarily struggle with it. And at any point when they're not understanding a concept, we just take some extra time and spend time like getting it down, and then we move on. It's not a big deal. But, in the curriculum, they actually have drill sheets that they provide that you can give your kids to do. And I vividly remember doing these when I was in elementary school, and it was just like busy work. And they were just these big sheets filled with math drills, you know, addition, subtraction, multiplication, just to fill time. And we don't do anything like that because number one, they simply just don't need it. And number two, I am not here, like, I don't want to just fill their time with just doing things just to give them something to do if it's not useful. And really, I don't ask them to do a lot in each day. They do one lesson of math and one lesson of reading. We also do a journal entry every day to start our day, and they really, really enjoy doing that. Usually once or twice a week, we will also do some additional writing in the Scholastics Writing, which I'm not even sure if I ever even shared these. Let me find it. Once or twice a week, I will ask them to do one page out of these books. I found these on Amazon and they're awesome. It really just focuses on the basics of writing, and you know, we're talking punctuation, writing statements, learning how to form proper paragraphs and sentences, and it's a really nice supplement, but it is not difficult. It's not tedious or strenuous. I mean, it's one page. That's it. So one lesson of reading, one lesson in math, and a journal entry. Once a week they do this. And then if one of them is waiting for the other to finish so that I can help them, I will ask them to do a page out of their handwriting book. And again, this is not like strenuous activity here. Part of our struggle is that they just don't want to do it. And I get it. But there's also some things that I am going to take the blame on. I personally have just been struggling. I have struggled to get back into a good rhythm in our home. I have struggled to get into a good morning routine again. You know, us as their moms, we are the ones who lead our homeschool. We are the ones who lead our homes, and we are the homemakers. We are the ones who set the tone for our homes. So when we are unorganized and out of whack and like not in a routine, everything falls apart. And let me tell you, that is exactly what has happened. I mean, this is on me, and I don't ever want to put the blame on my kids. Like, a little bit is that they just don't want to do things. But honestly, a lot of it has been me. Like, I have just really struggled to get into a good routine again. And, you know, I don't like to make excuses for myself, but there are definitely obstacles that have made it challenging. I have a baby, I mean, he's now 1, but I have a baby who is up every night, at least once, usually multiple times. So I'm still not getting a full night's rest. I don't go to bed until late. My husband works very challenging hours at work, which leaves me to do most of the parenting alone. I'm alone every evening to do dinner, bath time, bedtime alone. And then I, have to clean up dinner and clean up our house after we've been home all day in it. And it's exhausting. Like, I just cannot catch up, and I don't have the energy to clean then all evening and kind of set us up for the next day, you know, because I have a baby who is up at night because I'm not getting rest. And it has been this vicious cycle that I have been fighting against. And I keep hoping that like it's gonna get better. And I know that it will. I know that it will get better eventually. I just don't know when that is. And, you know, I'm trying in earnest to control as much as I can control. So now that I have basically said, okay, we are kind of going to do a reset. And I've done, the first thing is taking inventory of our curriculum. What is working, what is not. Secondly, I have to get into a better routine. I have to get myself into a better routine in the morning and in the evening, which means, you know, getting up before my kids again, making sure that I'm getting my workout in before they're up, reading my Bible, doing all of my like quiet time that I desperately need. I need to do that. Getting myself ready for the day. It's a big thing. Like, I know on the days that I don't get ready, I feel way less motivated. I am way less productive. I just don't want to do anything. So all of those things are on me. I have to do that. And so that's my next step, is like spending the next couple of weeks getting myself back into a really good routine, because ultimately that will shift our day to day. You know, our evenings, I have to make sure I'm making dinner on time and getting them to bed on time so that I have time to clean our home and reset it for the next day. And this is a big, big thing for me. I have to go to bed at a decent hour. I have gotten into a really bad habit of, you know, getting in bed and then I lay there scrolling on my phone for way too long, and then I am awake too late, and then it takes me forever to fall asleep, and it's like this whole vicious cycle, and then I struggle to get up the next morning, and then here we go again. So I have identified the areas that I need to do better at. So that's on me. So after I feel like I have established, or even while I'm doing this, it doesn't have to be after that, but while I am working on myself getting into a better routine, I thought, okay, so we're going to take a break from our traditional curriculum. What can we start doing again to kind of like just keep moving us along? Like, we need some type of structure. We need something. So we are going to start playing more games again. We used to play at least 1 or 2 games a day. And especially in the winter months when we are trapped inside, it is a way for us to just, you know, spend our time indoors. So there's so many ways that we can still continue learning even while we're playing games. That is one thing that I'm going to start getting us back into, is playing our games again. We are going to start morning basket again. That is just such a wonderful way. I love morning time, and I don't want to lose sight of the value of morning time. We're going to start morning time again. I'm going to make a conscious effort to get us outdoors at least once a day. And that sounds like such a small thing, but when you have 5 very, very young children and it is winter outside, it is very hard to get everybody outside. It is very hard. Yesterday, it took my husband and I together 45 minutes to get all 5 of them ready to go out in the snow. 45 minutes. So that's why it seems like it's very daunting. It's a very daunting task. But I know that once we get outside for a little bit, it helps all of us. Speaking of outside, we are also going to start Treehouse, Schoolhouse nature study. We did a little bit in the fall, but I thought now is a perfect time while we are taking a break from everything else to do the winter nature study that she released. And I will put a link for that down below. I also have a code. You can use this code right here to get 10% off your purchase. I absolutely adore all of her curriculum, all of her printables. They are amazing. We use the morning menus in our morning basket. We also use the Connected Christmas. That is the Christmas curriculum that I spoke of in my last video. And it is the Easter curriculum that we use, which I will be sharing soon, so you guys have time to prepare for this upcoming Easter. It's wonderful, and I'm really excited to kind of dive into the nature study while we were taking a break from everything else. I figured it would be a really good way to still get in some writing and some learning. We're gonna take this time to get back into doing art. We used to do art regularly. I mean, if not every day, multiple days a week, and we just haven't done that. And that makes me sad because I love doing art. My kids love doing art, and while they have continued to do art, it's not been led by me per se. You know, they have continued to do, you know, to paint and draw because that they are just naturally drawn to being artistic. But I would love to just get back to doing things more together. It's just another way to connect with them, and it's something that we all enjoy doing. And of course, we have to get back to reading aloud. So we still read aloud. Like, I read aloud picture books daily. Even through all of the chaos that has been the last several months, we have continued to read aloud picture books. And I spend time in the evening reading aloud with my two older boys because we are reading through Harry Potter. But I love reading aloud during the day from a chapter book, and we have gotten away from that. And we need to get back to that. That is something that we can do while we're taking a break from everything else. And then the last thing is spending this time going on field trips. And while that is limited because it is winter, we have some really cool like science museums around us. And I thought, what better time than now to spend visiting those. The most important thing that I had to remind myself of is that while I like for us to finish our school year at a certain time, it doesn't have to be that way. And you know, I'm 4 years into this and still have to remind myself of that we are on no one's timeline. That if we want to take a break because things just aren't working, we can take a break. And we, you know, knowing that we are not on a deadline, we don't have to finish things in any certain manner or in any order. We get to do what we want to do when we want to do them. I have found such freedom in that, and it is very liberating. Once we decided to take a break and just hit pause, I immediately felt a huge weight off my shoulders. So it might mean that we do school throughout the summer this year, which hasn't always been it hasn't been what I've wanted to do in years past, but maybe this is how we do things now. Maybe we take a break in the winter while we are cooped up and we can't get out as much as we would like. Maybe it means that we take a break in the winter and we school through more the summer when we can get outside in the mornings and, you know, sit on the patio to do our homeschool instead of being cooped up inside. Maybe that's what this year is going to look like for us. Homeschool is ever evolving, and especially when you have young kids like we do, it is, you know, every season is different. Every season has changed. Every season things have evolved. Our rhythm is forever changing, and it will continue to do that. So while the type A in me wants things to be a certain way, I have to be a little bit more flexible and recognize that we have the luxury to be flexible, and we have the luxury to do things the way that we want to do them and what works best for us. So that is what we're going to do. So those are all of the things that I intend to do in this interim, you know, during this little break from like our traditional curriculum. I have no idea when we will start again, but we are just going to take it week by week and kind of reassess, like, how am I feeling now? Are things kind of starting to fall back into place again? Where are we at? And once I feel like we have sparked that magic again, that is when I will know that we are ready to add everything else back in. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you too are struggling this year and need to hit pause on your homeschool year, I hope that any of these ideas have helped you and they will help you get through to the other side. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big ol' thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.
The world could fall down, it's gonna be okay.